And hello, this is Gary Bolton, and this is our Monday call, Gathering Customers. And first off, we want to let everybody know that this is presentations from independent Nikin consultants, and these are not presentations from the company. So here's our slideshow presentation. We're going to go through that, and then I'm going to give you some observations that I've made recently on gathering customers. So this call is intended so that people can get new ideas and tips on how to get customers. And we're going to have some tips for getting started and building your team. And it's never changed. When I first got into network marketing, they told me to build a names list. And I've done extensive research on the most successful network marketers in the last 10 years. And all of them have done the same thing, is they built names lists. And oftentimes, and I've been telling my group this, when you go out and you pass out business cards, you're not building a names list unless those people call you. And you may have to pass out 100 business cards. Hold your business cards back. Don't be so quick to give out those business cards. I always get the other person's information first. Well, I won't say that. I don't say always. If I'm in a big hurry or they're in a big hurry, sure, sometimes I'll hand them a business card. But if I sit and I have more than a few minutes, more than a couple of minutes conversation with someone, and I hear a need or I hear a way that I can help those people, I will always say, well, give me your email address. That's all I'll ever ask for. I will never ask for their name. I will never ask for their phone number. I only ask for their email address. I say, give me your email address. I want to send you some information on something that might help you. And I have yet, since I got back from Florida, to have anybody I asked that of that didn't give me not only their email address, but also their name and their phone number. And I've sold products, retail products to some of these people that I've met by asking for their information. And again, you need their name and you need their email address at a minimum. I always ask for referrals. This is so important. Almost everybody will give you one name. Some people will make a list. I've had people write down a dozen people's names and phone numbers and say, you need to call all these people. If you will ask for referrals, your business will be transformed overnight just from making that one little change of not asking for referrals to asking for referrals. And of course, you should always be looking at ways to get out of the house, ways to go outside. The people that you already know, joining, I've said it before, Meetup is a fantastic thing, whether you like quilting or playing board games or astronomy or what you like. Chances are there's someone within driving distance of your home that likes to do those things too. And these people meet regularly. You already have a great deal in common with these people. And when you move into these groups of people, always be conscious that you're looking for people you can help. People are going to tell you about their feet that hurt or about their mama that has issues, or people will talk to you. Get out there and join these groups that you're not already a part of. You know, it may be the group that's sitting at the grandkids' ball games. You know, anytime you can get out of the house and move in a group of people, if you will listen and ask questions about them and not talk about yourself, you will hear all kinds of needs that needs to be filled. Get their information, add them to your list. Keyword search in Google, that's a very specialized skill set. People that want to do that, I suggest them going to YouTube and learning how to do that. It is a time-consuming. Keyword searches on Google is something that you have to do to be successful online. You have to be successful at knowing what your keywords are, whether you're blogging, whether you're creating a web page to target a certain market, or if you're just advertising online. You have to do keyword research. social media, which of course is Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, they have really changed in the last year how they allow us to market products and services on social media. I know I use AWeber, and when you advertise on Facebook, for example, it gives you the option to simultaneously advertise on Instagram. So social media is another one of those things that I send people to YouTube. Just go to YouTube if you're interested in advertising on Facebook or Instagram. Do a search on YouTube. Say advertising on YouTube or advertising on wherever you're interested. Google Plus. The main thing, and I've said this all along, over 70% of all sales and all of network marketing are made face-to-face. They're not made online. You know, they're made at the people that you meet in line at the grocery store, or they're made with people in your family or in your group that you're in. So talk to people, be friendly. The biggest change you can make for your conversations is if you'll just learn how to be happy and show it on your face by smiling. You know, you wake up every day, you have a choice to make. Am I going to be happy today, or am I going to be grumpy today? And I'm not going to get to repeat this day. So personally, I wake up every day and say, hallelujah, I see the light. I'm happy today. Get out, be friendly, smile, and look for the opportunities. And when we say opportunities, we mean find ways you can help people. It's just as simple as that. Be goal-oriented. You have to set goals for yourself. I've said this before. I may have told you this. I'm starting to run, and I downloaded an app on my phone. And the first day I had to run a minute, and I thought, oh my gosh, a minute's killing me. Well, after 6 weeks, I'm up to 10 minutes. The reason I've gone from being able to barely run a minute to being able to easily run 10 minutes is each day I had a new goal, or each time I ran, I had a new goal. And as Henry Ford said, if you divide any job into smaller parts, it's not overwhelming. It's not, you lessen the challenge. And it's the same thing with building your business. If you'll set yourself a goal of adding one customer a week or one customer a day, whatever you think you can obtain, then do that, and then continue to move up. Just like in that running app that I'm doing, they just keep adding a few more minutes of run each day and a few less minutes of walk each day. And the result's going to be, when I finish this program, which is an 8-week program, I'll be able to run 30 minutes without stopping. So I had my doubts at first about the program, but it's working beautifully. I haven't stopped a day, and the same thing you'll be able to say that about your business if you'll set your goals. It really helps. I know it helps me to be accountable. In many ways, this call makes me more accountable, because I know that if I don't leave the farm and go to where people are at, if I don't go and join meetup groups, if I don't go and get outside the sphere of influence that I have and meet new people, that I won't have anything to talk about on this call. And I do this call every Monday. So it has really helped me doing this call to be accountable. Now, I have other people that call me regularly. They're accountable to me, and I'm accountable to them. They tell me about how they were out in the world, meeting people, listening for needs, and being able to help people with their needs. And I certainly don't want to have nothing to say back to them. So it's really helped me by being accountable here. We need to all be using everything all the skill sets that we have. I thought it was interesting when I was in Florida recently at the meeting. I had a doctor come up to me, an MD, and sat and had lunch with us, and she was asking me about advice on getting retail customers. And I said, you're a doctor. You've got all these clients that are coming to you with all these problems all day, every day. I'm jealous of you having so many opportunities. If you just look for the opportunities available. One of the top retailers in Nikin, Dr. Sharon Lewis, she's a chiropractor in Arizona. So she has people coming to her. That's her way of doing things. I know we talked to Esther Smith, and she talked about how she got out and added people to her names list. We talked to Tina Davidson, who had the event that brought in so many sales. I talk to people all the time that are going to health fairs and having. I talked to a lady today. She's going to a health fair next week. She's going to take her a massage table, and she's going to offer a little 3 or 4 minute rollout with a mag creator to anybody that'll give her their name and email address. Well, see, that's list building, and that's a great way to build your list. Email, text, phone, Skype, Zoom. I mean, there's so many ways that are out there today that weren't around 10, 15 years ago. Networking groups, I talked about Meetup. I know Craigslist. I've heard some people doing some amazing things with Craigslist. Events, trade shows. The main thing is just go out with a smile on your face and talk to everybody, and go with not your own agenda in mind. Don't go out thinking, oh God, I gotta get a customer, or oh, I gotta get a sale, or oh, I gotta get a business builder. Go out and say that John St. John prayer, Lord, help me help somebody today. And just go out and look for somebody to help. I promise you, your business will grow. Of all the different ways, of course, you want to make it personal. What works for me may not work for you, or what works for you may not work for me. We all have a different skill set. You have to maximize your strengths, and you have to get better at your weaknesses. I talked to somebody before that's very shy, and I said, well, what makes you shy? And they said, well, I have a fear of talking to people. And I explained to them, well, fear is just an invention of your mind. It's not real. There's no reality in fear. The only one that feels fear is yourself. The words itself, fear, stand for false evidence appearing real. What you are perceiving as fear is just false evidence. It's not real. So get out of your comfort zone. Don't let fear stop you or freeze you or keep you from speaking up. And you never know. That person that you didn't speak to might be the best friend that you'll ever have in your life. I'll guarantee you one thing, if you don't speak up, chances are you'll never meet them. Just try it. It gets easier with each time. And that conclude our little thing. Let me see how much time we've got. Oh, we've got 5 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? With 5 minutes, I can't cover a whole lot.
What do you follow up with?
What do I follow up with? I always get their email address. Mm-hmm. And when I'm out, I'm looking for ways or challenges that they have. And it just depends on their challenge. I met a lady last week that suffered from osteopenia, and I sent her the, Dr. Naidu's. I met a guy that's got some skin problems, some rashes on his skin. And I asked him, I said, well, are you bathing in, we call it city water, chlorinated water? And he said, yeah, what difference does that make? So, I sent him some videos. I'm real big on sending videos out on whatever the challenge is. But yeah, it's usually almost always by email, at least the first time. And then if they respond again, then sometimes I'll reach out, to them. If they already know about Nikin and have specific questions about products, sometimes I'll call them. Those are sort of a special group. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for asking a question. You know, I don't like hearing them crickets chirp. Anybody else want to speak up?
After you follow up, if you don't hear from them, do you do some more follow-up?
Not usually. It just depends on how the conversation went. I had to stop at the dollar store today, and there was a young man. He was delivering Pepsi Colas, and he was delivering them to the store. And he went, he was talking to the lady that was running the store, and he was talking about how he was getting his CDL license to drive a big truck, and he was all excited about that. And so, he was just enthusiastic. And I'm sitting there thinking, gosh, this guy would be a great distributor. So I struck up a conversation with him. I got his email address. I'm going to send him some information about the business. He also gave me his phone number. So, I will call him after he's got a little time to digest it. I don't always call like that, but sometimes I do. If it's about the business, I'm a little more aggressive than I am about the products, because the products, you can lead a horse to water, but you sure can't grab it by the ears and shove its nose down in that water because it's too strong. So but the business is something that you really got to encounter. There again, most sales are made not on the first encounter, but actually on the third encounter. So you do have to be persistent, especially the ones that you've had. The lady with osteoporosis, we've been back and forth a good bit already, and she's going to go on the bone health pack. She just wants more research.
What do you think is something we can keep mindful of for good customer service?
You have to stay right on top of customer service. Somebody calls you today, you need to call them back. I don't know how many people have called me and said that I called a distributor, or I called Nican and they gave me a distributor, or I looked somebody up and I sent them an email, or I called them and I got no response back. But you won't hear that from Gary Bolton. If my phone's set to go off, it does a special ringtone, so that I will know that I'm getting messages and emails. And as soon as I get them, I contact the people. I'm not as good at it as some others. I know Carolyn Trotter, Nestor Smith, and Tony Collins are about the best at customer service I've ever seen. And you see their names all the time in the top 10 list because of that. They are really Johnny on the spot. One thing about it, when you start retailing, all of us have said this little prayer, Lord, help me build my business. And after a few months, when you start developing your business, you're going to be sending out emails all the time, and you're going to have a list of people you need to call. And I'll never forget, Tony Collins said, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. And I said, well, wasn't you just praying for this just not long ago? And he said, yeah, I sure was. So, you got to be careful what you pray for. If you want a business, God might give it to you. I'm going to stop recording.